Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Deep Within. This is going to be a first of so many videos I want to make just to address certain issues and things that I have been hearing lately, and especially coming from spiritual leaders that I think somebody ought to say something about it. And the first aspect I want to touch on this morning is the fact that I hear many people saying, oh, God or the Creator, I trust in him. He's going to tell me when to do something. He's going to tell me when to move, or he's going to show me what to do in a certain situation. Well, newsflash, I got bad news for most of these people. Because first of all, the Creator's already given you an ability which allows you to do all this by yourself, which is discernment. God is giving you discernment, or the Creator has given you discernment. Again, I'm using these words for lack of better words, because normally people don't seem to understand the concept of you are created by God, therefore you come equipped with all the abilities you already need to function in this reality or this dimension. And for you to be somewhere praying, fasting on a cloth, thinking that God is going to come and do for you, or is going to come and show you something, is totally not what spirituality teaches us. Maybe religion for that matter, and which in its own way I have nothing against, but we need to understand, when we're dealing with spirituality, we're dealing with the Creator, and in as much we need to understand the Creator is not going to come and do for us what we're supposed to do for ourselves. He's already given us the ability to move forward, and he's not going to do it. And for example, let's take the Bible, right? Adam was created, and the moment Adam was created, he was supposed to do for himself everything that Adam was supposed to do for himself, and God would do what he was supposed to do as God. We cannot interchange the positions where we're asking God to come do even the basics for us, because a decision is up to you to take. It's not up to God. And for you to be able to make a sound decision, you need to first of all have good discernment. You need to analyze, have clear analysis of what are the facts, what is the situation in front of you. You need to be aware and very cognizant of what you're going through or what you're dealing with. And at that point, you are able to go on and just say, hey, based on that particular, situation, and I'm supposed to do this or that. God is not going to come and do it for you. And I need people to understand this particular concept. To think that an external force is going to come and do for you what you're supposed to do for yourself is just like saying, I'm just going to leave it up to chance and leave it up to whatever happens. And that's why lately we've seen in our community, most of the things that happens, they just happen because we're not clearly thinking, we're not using our discernment, we're not using our God-given abilities to actually move forward with the facts. So we only actually pulling all the strings only after the aftermath has happened. So instead of us doing, we're just dealing with what has been done. And in as much we're not supposed to, how can we call ourselves spiritual leaders and people of the Creator if we are only dealing with what has been done and not doing? We're supposed to be creating, co-creator. We're supposed to create, in everything that you do, you're supposed to act as if you are part of the Creator. You're supposed to create the situation. You don't just deal with the situation. No, you create a situation. And if so happens that the situation just come, you need to at that point analyze and see the facts and make clear decision. That's what you do as a spiritual person. And unfortunately, this message has been coming from spiritual leaders lately, where they're telling the people to actually idly sit by, do nothing, and just hope that some external forces is just going to come and do, or the Creator is going to come and do for them what they're supposed to do for themselves. Again, let's take another example, right? Israel is coming out of Egypt, and on their way to Canaan, God says, look, I'm not going to fight for you. And all the nations they had to conquer, God says, well, yeah, I will give you the power. I'll grant you the power to conquer and vanquish your enemies. But I'm not going to fight for you. The fighting will be yours to do. And in as much, it is always the same situation, and it will never change. What we have to do is up to us to do, and God is not going to come and do for us what we're supposed to do for ourselves. So if we want to see change in the community, we want to see change, and we want to see a change in the race, as you know, overall. But we need to actually start thinking differently. We need to start not reacting but acting. We need to start creating situation instead of reacting to a situation. Most of the times we just react to what has been done. But we need to, think differently. And for a group of people, and in our community, let's say, for instance, I know so many people that could just come together and take decisions and do something that would be very beneficial for the community. But instead, it's not happening because they're somewhere hoping, praying, fasting, and waiting for God to tell them what to do. That is totally uncalled for and unheard of. It's like, why would you want God to tell you what to do when He's given you the discernment to actually make that decision? So again, I wanted to address that issue because lately, all I'm seeing is a bunch of people who call themselves spiritual leaders who are, just making a living and gaining quick wealth off of people who somehow have no knowledge, no facts, and have lost their ways and refuse to use their discernment. And in that sense, they've become lost sheep. And they just taking these people for fools and just telling them that they're supposed to somehow idly just sit by and just wait until God or the Creator come and do for them what they're supposed to do for themselves. So again, I just wanted to address these issues and put that out there. Maybe this message would get to someone and they would get off of that cloth or get off from that corner that they've been for the past months or a year, and start acting and start doing what they've been planning or thinking of doing instead of just waiting for an answer. Once you see that the thought has somehow come to your mind and you're able to see the peons you're supposed to move on the chessboard for you to move forward, it means God has already approved it. You're supposed to just move forward and do what you're supposed to do, or the Creator for that matter. Again, I'm using English vocabulary. For lack of better words, I'm using, he, she, or the Creator or God, but I don't really like to associate words with the Creator when I'm speaking of the Creator. And we need to understand that. And we need to start thinking at a higher level. We need to stop seeing ourselves as just mere humans who's got no ability. No, you were made to be co-creators. You were made to actually look and be unto like God. That's why it says in the book, you were made in His image. It says, let us make men into our, image and resemblance. And in as much He is giving you most of the, abilities you need to be able to function as a co-creator in this reality. But 9 out of 10 times what we do, we listen to man-made, ideology or philosophy telling us we're just human, we lack the power, we lack the philosophy or the wisdom to move on our own. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. We're supposed to be moving and do for ourselves exactly what we're supposed to do for ourselves. And again, I want to be clear on this particular aspect. God will not come and do for you what you're supposed to do for yourself. So until you start doing or taking action and stop reacting and moving forward with the facts and start making and taking sound decisions, you will never see a change. The change you're waiting for, that's not going to happen. So again, I'm just going to leave this out here for most of these people who've been thinking, hoping, praying. Instead of doing all that, just start moving with the facts and just make your decision. It's been Mr. K, and this is the first of so many videos to come. Deep within, go inside, God is within, and He will tell you all you need to know. Have a good one.